Introduction. This video is the sequel of the previous one, which talked about how to use morph transition in PowerPoint 2016, and the extra steps required to make morph really work instead of showing fade transition. In this episode, I'll talk about using 3 types of morph transition in PP 2016. Yes, 3 types. There are 4 major types of morph in PowerPoint, namely, objects, words, characters and forced. Forced morph is not unimportant, of course, but I cannot use it in my non-subscription version of PP 2016, so I think most users of this version cannot use it either. Therefore, I will focus on the other 3 types, especially characters morph. I'll talk about how to create templates that have 3 types of morph, and how to use them in PP 2016. In the previous video, we talked about objects morph only. Actually, the methods to make and use other types are quite similar. For the sake of completeness, I will mention what the previous episode had already said, but in brief. By the way, this video is mainly created in PP 2016 and can be treated as a demo of what this version can do. I hope users of this version like you will find it useful, interesting, and inspirational. Source of files. Recently, some YouTubers have talked about how to get Microsoft 365 for free. But actually, it is a free online version that does not have full features compared with subscription version. I call it Online 365 from now on. And what about morph? Of course it has morph, otherwise you wouldn't find this video here. This Online 365 is not so hard to use, and the video links about how to use it can be found in the description part of this video. So I will not repeat again in detail. The most important thing you should know is the website address, which is www.microsoft365.com. Creating a template. Let's start by assuming that you have now access to this site and can use the apps therein. The procedures for creating a template of objects, words, and characters morph using Online 365 are the same. Instead of talking about objects morph again, this time I will use characters morph as the major example. The steps you can use morph and also create the templates are as follows. Step 1. Select Presentation, then you can see a familiar PowerPoint screen. Step 2. In Slide 1, you can create a text box and type something like, "Can morph transition really be used in PowerPoint 2016?" Step 3. Duplicate Slide 1, and then in Slide 2, change the words to something like, "Yes, you can really use it, you can try." Step 4. In Transitions menu, select Morph, and then in Effect menu, select Characters. Step 5. Go to Slideshow menu, select From Beginning to view the effect. Actually, you have already created a Characters Morph Effect slide template. Then in Step 6, you can save the file to your computer using Save As and download a copy. You can then test the Morph Effect template by using Preview in PP 2016. The procedures for creating an Objects Morph Effect slide and a Words Morph Effect slide are the same too. You may create 3 files for each of the morph templates. Alternatively, you can create one file which has 3 different morph templates in 3 slides. As there is no morph button in PP 2016, the difference between a normal slide and a morph effect slide is not obvious. The major feature of a morph effect slide is that, in the transitions menu, no transition is selected but the preview button is on. But you can distinguish different morph slides more easily by another way. At the bottom of the slides, you can label them as character effect slide, word effect slide, and object effect slide, using a text box or an image. Using an image is better as the text within a text box may morph too. Free template. If you don't have time to DIY, you can download a template with the 3 morph effects from my Patreon site. It is free of charge, and I appreciate it if you could kindly subscribe to my YouTube or Patreon to support me. How to use the template. When you want to use morph effect in PP 2016, the steps are: 1. Open the template in PowerPoint. 2. Decide which type of morph you want to use, so you want to use characters morph. 3. Copy the character effect slide to the presentation. The effect can still work. Differences between 3 types of morph. I think not everyone is clear about the differences between the 3 morphs, so I will talk about their behaviors. 1. When using objects morph, use exactly the same words in both slides, otherwise it has no effect. 2. If a slide is set to words morph or characters morph, the shapes still move like objects morph. 3. The characters morph feature will move common characters between 2 slides. On the other hand, the words morph feature is a bit more tricky to use. When using words morph, both slides should have common words in the same case, which means the upper and lower case letters should be identical, otherwise the words will not move. Troubleshooting. If morph transition cannot run properly, here are some possible reasons. 1. In case fade transition is shown instead of morph transition, you may need to install several Office updates. The link of the article from Microsoft can be found in the description part of this video. 2. If you are using a morph effect slide, and then you choose none or the other types of transition in the transition menu, then the slide will lose its morph effect. Since there is no clickable morph effect button in PP 2016, there is no way to restore the effect directly. To activate morph effect again, you can just copy another valid morph effect slide to the file. 3. To get the desired effect, a correct morph effect slide and the proper steps should be used. For example, words morph is case sensitive and cannot work at all if 2 slides do not have exactly the same words. By the way, shape change is not possible in the 3 types of morph templates, though it can be done in later versions using forced morph mentioned above. 4. I encountered a strange case where characters morph cannot work. After doing many tests, I found that the reason is the text box has an animated effect applied to it. So if morph should work but it doesn't, you can create new objects and try again. 5. There are different versions of PP 2016, maybe some older versions cannot play morph transition. Lastly, you can find more information in the description part of this video. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.